In this session, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be moving into a very comprehensive exploration into the strategies, into the best practices, such as the project management, quality control, innovations in construction process, and a lot much. The real world case studies are going to be shared with us by our speaker. So I would like to request Mr. Deepak Goradia, the Vice President CREDAI, to please escort our esteemed speaker, Mr. Jagadish Nangineni, the Managing Director of Sobha, India. Mr. Jagadish Nangineni is the Managing Director of Sobha Limited, has more than 20 years of experience in real estate technology and management consulting fields. In his 14 years with Sobha, he has played key operational and business roles with deep expertise in almost all aspects of real estate development across cities in the country. He has spearheaded numerous strategic business initiatives, transforming them into impactful projects that have solidified Sobha's position as a leading real estate brand. Before I invite him to take center stage and to share with us, again, the strategies towards excellence in the construction sector, may I request people who are standing on the sides to be please taking their seats. May I request all of you to be kindly with you. So, all over to you, sir.
In view of the short of time, I would request Jagadish ji to have a presentation.
Evening. So this is the last session in the event. I hope this is not the least of interest for you.
Best for last.
That's good. So like most of the participants and the speakers have mentioned, as we are growing towards the Vikasit Bharat or prosperous India, the expectations of the customers are also going to significantly increase. As we are increasing the price, as people are ready to spend more, the expectation of the quality of the product is, it needs to be in line with what we are going to develop. So hence, what I quickly wanted to cover today was how to achieve excellence in construction. We have just 10 minutes, so we'll quickly run through some of the aspects of what we have done. Transform the way people perceive quality. This was the motto of the company established by Mr. PNC Menon. His background has been in very high quality interiors. I'm sure a lot of you have interacted with him for over the years. He has developed interiors for royalty. And hence, when he came to start to do real estate development in India, his expectation and the benchmarks of the quality were far higher than what's been happening in the country. So it was very natural for him to focus on the quality of the product. In order to do that quality of the product and what's the expectation, the available contracting or the ecosystem was not enough. So hence, the kind of integration that we had to do was quite different from what was existing then. So we quickly got into a backward integration model wherein essentially the entire design, execution, and even the manufacturing has been done, has been set up in-house. And as we scale, all those aspects also have been scaled. So it's not that it has started only when has been scale. So even for the developers who are here, who think that the scale is important for this kind of backward integrated model, that's not at all true. The aspect of backward integration can happen irrespective of the scale. Fortunately, in the last 28 years, we have managed to do this focused on the quality aspect and scaled, and we delivered close to more than 130 million square feet across India, and we are known for quality. So in that aspect, we have certain learnings from these. So I have quickly done three aspects of this. One is for the construction excellence itself, and second is the role of organization culture and role of the promoters in that. So excellence in construction. So I'm sure a lot of people have understand this, that we are what we are repeatedly do. Excellence therefore is not an act but a habit. And we all know that habits are very tough to develop and sustain. And that's where, and particularly when it comes to construction, it is far more tougher. Three aspects to this. One is design. The first one is design. Like yesterday, Mr. Kamal Sagar was here, who has dwelt upon good design. And good design is not only good business, but also not only good aesthetics, but also very good for our bottom line. But when it comes to specifically to achieving quality construction, what is more important is consistency in the design. So when I say consistency in the design, it's architectural, structural and services. I'm sure a lot of people here, we use multiple design firms over several of our projects, and hence the design standards can keep changing. But when it comes to the actual execution, it's very critical for all at any point of time to have some kind of standards, which is what we could achieve over a period of time as we develop projects. Since the design has been in-house, so we continuously tweaked our design details, specifically details, whether it is and particularly the workmanship details. Those details, if you focus on the aspects of the every space that we develop, so the design details, whether it is a staircase, whether it is a fixing of the railing, or even the spaces in the toilets. So all of these, as you focus more on each one of these, so the details are something that you need to, we have standardized. And that standardization has helped us in ability to transfer it to the construction site. And hence, there has been a seamless integration in terms of both design and the construction site, and the feedback can loop in, and then there is a continuous learning for us. So similarly, but I'm sure a lot of people are not having in-house design teams, but what probably one can look at is, as we do projects, we develop certain standards, and we give those standards to the architects or the design firms that we are engaging with. So that it becomes a manual for the company, and you can make it part of the brief to the design firms, and hence they can incorporate those, and the learnings can continue to be flow into the next project. Next is, of course, execution. This is what actually shapes the ultimate product, and after the delivery is when the real problems start for us, whether in terms of, and our real brand name also is developed based on the final product. So this is the most important aspect, and here we have consistently we could deliver very high quality developments because of the models that we have developed. I'll quickly take you through those. One is we have a modular development team, which means that we have understood that for X square feet, so many X engineers are required, so many planning guys are required, so many stores are required, store people are required, X number of technicians are required. So whatever that model is, if you can identify that the model, and that model, once you perfect it out, then ability to replicate becomes far easier. That's number one. Number two is technicians. The actual work finally, which happens on the ground, is done by our technicians. And the biggest challenge for all of us in the quality of the product is the person who is laying the tile today in a certain space, and the person laying the tile tomorrow is not the same. And this is the biggest challenge I don't think any other industry faces. We are the only industry where the consistency of labor is a big issue. So in order to tackle that, what we have done is we have developed our own technicians. We have about close to 10,000 technicians with us, and not that you can develop, you can have, everyone can have the number of technicians in this manner, but having an hands-on technicians really do help in improving your quality, and that makes a huge difference, particularly when it comes to the finishing details and final, which will come through in your final product. Third is the subcontractors. So the subcontractors, I'm sure there are, all of you have subcontractors, but what we have done is, the way we have, our journey has been, a lot of work was being done in-house, and then we slowly moved for whichever is the area, like for example, painting. We could figure that some of our current employees or ex-employees have become very good subcontractors, achieving similar quality as what we require. So we have started developing subcontracting models wherever it's possible, where we think that the quality is matching. So as we have evolved in the last 20 years, several of the activities which were being in-house slowly started moving towards external. And the development of these subcontractors is what typically in an automobile industry or any other industry, they call it as tier 1 supplier, tier 2, tier 3 suppliers. So similar is what we have tried to do. That model has really helped us continue to have the quality development irrespective of the scale of the company. And of course, lastly is tools and machinery. We have right from the beginning, because of the probably Mr. Menon's experience in the Middle East and in very highly competitive environments, the kind of tools that we invested in, although the cost is far lower when compared to the scale of the project, but usage of those tools, whether it's for measurement or whether it's for some of the simple civil activities, those tools, particularly we have mostly used it from Germany. Now they are available in plethora in India. So those tools really, by just having those tools, the mindset of the people definitely changes. So and of course the quality of the product also is really enhanced. So that's another aspect that we have used. The third is the quality management. Now ultimately, while execution is happening, I mean actually if you really look at it, there are 5 M's that are required at the site, which is man, material, machine, manpower and method. So in all the 5 aspects, these what we have covered just now, and from these 5, what we on top of these 5, two aspects sit, which is 2 M's, which I'm sure most of us dwell upon, and that is money and management. So these management is where it really plays a role when it comes to the increasing the scale and making sure that the consistency is there. So here we have the quality, which is of course it cannot be part of the execution team. It has to be a separate team. And not only that, but what we have done to make sure it percolates across the organization is to develop a manual of all the activities. Construction is not a new technology that we have developed. Construction activities are known for everyone. It's not in any kind of new technology. The only thing, but what has definitely happened is, and typically we borrow a lot of checklists, we borrow a lot of manuals from outside, but there is a big difference between authoring a manual by yourself versus borrowing a certain textbook from somewhere else. And that brings a lot of ownership inside the team, and they start following that, which they themselves have written. So even though the checklist might be, the manual might be the same, but doing it yourself will really help. And second, of course, as part of that, we have clearly marked out every activity. There is clearly a checklist of do's and don'ts, and also the measurability of those. Once that is done, it's because it's done in-house, it's rigorously followed by everyone. So even if you employ contractors, once you have that manual, and it becomes your own and not the contractor's manual. So that probably changes the mindset and sort of increases the ownership of the project in-house. See, the biggest difference is even if we are outsourcing our construction, the making sure that our team inside the company has the ownership of the end product and not think that it is the product of the contractor is the biggest change in the mindset that if you can bring in, that will have a lot more impact on the quality of the product that we are going to get in. And of course, the quality audit that we have, that's again, directly reporting to the senior management, that makes a big difference in the sense, of course, the fear that there is someone looking at it, so clearly has a big impact on the whole thing. And organizational culture. So all these are very good aspects, and I'm sure majority of you are already aware of it, but ultimately if it needs to really we have to do it at scale, it has to have an organizational culture aligned to the requirement of the high quality construction in your space. And particularly because, like I was mentioning, this is, I mean, the project, real estate project is, it requires large scale integration and mainly from very, very unorganized whether players or entities, and that requires a lot more emphasis from our own project teams, and that's very critical in, so it becomes a very, it depends again on what kind of firm that you would like to establish. I'm sure majority of you might not be as interested in construction as an activity, but since that is the main focus, you'll need to find someone else, or you have to find crutches where you can develop such that it becomes a mainstay for you. Just saying is not good enough, but actual practice is very critical, and hence the role of organization culture is very important in making sure that the quality is percolated across. And role of promoters who actually drive the organization culture. So we can keep talking about quality, but if you're not walking the talk, if I'm sure you know that the sites function at start functioning at 8 o'clock, and if they know people they know that the head office or the corporate office or the main office is starting at 10 o'clock. There is a big difference between how the site is how site is treated and how the actual office is treated. So the culture and the promoter sets the tone. It's very critical, and I have seen it in several in our own organization and several other organizations where quality has been a mainstay. This is one of the critical component. You as a person who are driving the companies are the most important in making sure that you come together to achieve what your goal of quality of construction is, because the benchmark of construction is very varied in the whole country. Thank you so much. I mean, I didn't have much time for this, but I'm sure you can, all I can say is that there is a lot of headroom for us in terms of bringing in quality. Of course, there is a cost aspect as well. We do spend a little bit more, but all of this can be achieved in the best of the costs as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Jagadish, for the wonderful presentation and the presentation about the excellence in construction. The company Sobha itself, it's in your DNA, the quality which you deliver. It's really far, far superior, and a lot of things to learn. Due to short of time, we could not go through the entire, but excellent presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
May I request you, Deepak ji, to kindly present the memento?